Okay, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're actually staging a formal trial to answer a burning question that is frankly keeping prospective business students up at night. We're asking, is spending 2 years and a whole lot of serious money on an MBA still worth it when machines are so rapidly learning management? It's a massive, fascinating question. So, to get to the truth, we're going to lay out the raw evidence, hear the arguments, and deliver a final, data-backed verdict. Let's get started.
Is AI coming for the MBA? Man, if you are an early career professional, this exact search bar query is probably giving you a major knot in your stomach right now. Somewhere in between chatbots passing elite strategy exams and the daily headlines screaming about the death of white-collar work, people are understandably anxious. And you know what? It's a completely fair charge. It absolutely deserves a proper hearing today, rather than us just relying on doom scrolling or, glossy university brochures.
So, we open with the stakes. We're presenting this genuinely serious piece of evidence from McKinsey just to show that the automation threat is very, very real. 30%. That is the estimated portion of hours currently worked in advanced economies that could literally be automated by 2030 using generative AI. And crucially, the reach of this technology extends squarely into knowledge work, analysis, drafting, synthesis. I mean, this is the exact territory that the classic MBA career built its entire foundation on.
To get to the bottom of this, here is the docket for our trial today. 1. The prosecution's case. 2. The human defense. 3. What the hiring data actually shows. 4. The automation frontier. And 5. The final verdict.
Let's move right into it, starting with Section 1, the prosecution's case.
The prosecution's sharpest argument really comes down to this: the classic, grueling junior MBA workload. The exact tasks that traditionally filled up an 80-hour week for a junior analyst are now being manufactured by software in literally minutes. We're talking about compiling data, building out those first-pass financial models, grafting endless market analyses, or, agonizing over the formatting of a pitch deck at 2 in the morning. Anyone can watch modern AI systems do this today. So if these specific, highly repeatable tasks are the core product of a business degree, well, the prosecution rests. The product is being manufactured by software.
But hold on, let's hear Section 2, the human defense.
The defense steps up here with a really crucial distinction. Machines are automating the apprenticeship, sure, but they aren't automating the profession itself. As it's so beautifully put here, management was never the tasks. It was the judgment wrapped around them. Think about it. Management isn't just about building a spreadsheet. It's about the context, the high-stakes decision-making, and the very human nuance that surrounds that spreadsheet. The tasks, they were always just the vehicles for the judgment. To back this up, the defense points to what deployed systems simply cannot do. I mean, can a machine take accountability for a bad decision before a board of directors? No way. Can it negotiate with a counterparty while carefully reading subtle changes in their facial expressions? Can it sense that a technically perfect recommendation will completely bomb because of a specific company's quirky culture? Absolutely not. The defense proves that these profoundly human-centric skills are exactly what groups like the World Economic Forum and McKinsey rank at the very top of what employers need more of, not less.
Now for Section 3, what hiring data shows.
Look, claims and theories are cheap, right? But hiring behavior, that is testimony under oath. So let's cross-examine the actual market data to see if employers are really abandoning the MBA. When we look at the data from the Graduate Management Admission Council, which is basically the gold standard barometer for employer sentiment, it shows that employers are still actively hunting for MBA talent. They are specifically prizing strategic thinking, communication, and versatility. The demand definitely hasn't vanished. But what's truly fascinating here is that leaders would actually prefer a less experienced candidate who has AI aptitude over a highly experienced candidate who doesn't. Roughly 2/3 of business leaders say they straight up wouldn't hire someone without AI skills. This completely reframes the narrative we hear all the time. It is not about AI replacing humans. It's about humans with AI replacing humans without it.
And our final piece of evidence from the hiring market really seals the deal. PwC's massive analysis of hundreds of millions of job postings shows that roles requiring AI skills command a substantial wage premium. Reading all this market data together makes the pattern totally unambiguous. The demand for management isn't disappearing, it is simply repricing. The market is heavily discounting mere information processors and paying a premium for managers who know how to direct intelligent systems.
This brings us to Section 4,
The automation frontier.
To really make sense of this massive repricing in the job market, the court introduces a powerful mental model to synthesize the arguments we've heard so far. Think of this MBA task ledger as hard evidence. It maps out exactly what activities are safe from automation and what the essential human residual looks like. Notice how data compilation has very high automation exposure, right? But the human residual left behind is verifying it, contextualizing it, and deciding what actually matters. Forecasting is highly exposed, but a human must provide the assumptions and ultimately take accountability for the call. Meanwhile, negotiation and leadership have minimal exposure because they require deep trust and ethics.
This essentially visualizes a very literal line running right through the profession. We call it the automation frontier. AI dominates everything below the line: the compilable, draftable, and forecastable tasks. And let's be honest, those are being absorbed by machines faster and faster every single year. But humans must rule everything above the line: the judgment, the negotiation, the leadership, and the accountability. These remain stubbornly, beautifully, and measurably human.
Which brings us to a critical takeaway: the frontier rule. Managers who master only the below-the-line tasks, they get automated. But managers who rely solely on above-the-line charisma without any digital fluency, they're going to be outpaced. The hiring premium goes to those fluent on both sides of this frontier. You absolutely have to know how to direct the AI below the line while actively performing the complex human leadership above it.
And finally, Section 5, the final verdict.
The trial concludes. All the evidence has been weighed. It is time for the court to deliver its final ruling on the fate of the MBA. On the narrow count of being just a certificate of information processing ability, the MBA is indeed obsolete. The prosecution 100% proved its case there. But the degree as a preparation for judgment, for leadership, and for the direction of intelligent systems, that is actively appreciating. The MBA is not being replaced, it's being entirely re-examined. The sentence falls heavily on outdated syllabi and on students who expect the old curriculum to yield the old career path.
So, what does all this mean for you? Well, if you're considering this degree, these are the above-frontier roles currently multiplying across sectors that you should be targeting. We are talking about becoming an AI product manager, a digital transformation manager, or an AI governance lead. General management is tracking straight toward P&L ownership, which is pretty much the ultimate above-frontier role.
To get there, your selection criteria for a program must adapt. You have to seek out work-linked or online formats that train both sides of the frontiers simultaneously. You want a program that teaches AI tools right inside the core, assesses you through live, messy business problems, and connects the classroom directly to a real organization while you study. Because, as the evidence shows, frontier fluency is learned by standing on it, not just reading about it in a textbook.
Ultimately, the degree's worth in the AI era is a highly, highly personal equation. You need to weigh the costs against your personal salary trajectory and the massive premium the market is putting on AI-fluent managers. So before you enroll, run your own ROI numbers and ask yourself this critical, career-defining question. Right now, in your daily work, do your current skills sit above or below the frontier?